Mandy as well, back at it again with another Future Card Buddy Fight deck profile. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. Let's get started. So today's deck is the Katana World Gojinmaru. So pretty much ninjas, as we all know. So Lumina's chant for this deck is: the moon is full, the night is quiet, heed my sword, luminize, moonlight storm. I don't know why I decided to do that. But anyways, let's get this started. Flag is Katana World. You may only use Katana World and generic cards, but still, that's still good, because, you know, ninjas. Buddy, Overturn Ghoul Deity, Gojinmaru, 9k power, 9k defense, critical of 2, size 2. Call cost, put 2 monsters from your field into its soul and pay 2 gauge. When you cast a spell for this turn, this card gets triple attack and counter attack. Overturn, during your attack phase, drop a hand card. For this turn, all cards on your field can attack your opponent even if they have a monster in the center and get +1 critical. He has move and soul guard. Okay, so that's really good. He has really good stats for size 2 in Katana World, which are normally like weak monsters. He can get triple attacked and counterattacked just by casting a spell, so he's aggressive and he's defensive. And for this, the cost of discarding a hand card, all your cards basically get Shadow Dive and they get +1 critical, and he has move and soul guard just to, you know, benefit you if you have a different item equipped than the one in mind. So pretty much, good card, amazing thing to be the buddy. The only downside is he costs 2 gauge in this, and in this deck gauge is somewhat of a problem if you want to do canonicalness with stuff. But actually gauge is a problem regardless of stuff, so you actually have to be smart with this one. But still, really good card. So now on to the actual deck. So 2 copies of Accelerate Ninja Hayate, 2k power, 1k defense, critical of 2, size 1. He has move. That's pretty much all he's here for. If you have to equip the item that doesn't allow you to attack in the center, you still have to be aggressive. That's why he's here. He just gives you move. I want 2 copies of Electro Ninja Electric Turu. 3k power, 2k defense, critical of 1, size 1 as well. When this card deals damage to your opponent, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. This would be at 4 if I had 2 more copies. This card's actually really good, because yes, it's only 1 damage, but it gets you a free gauge. This card is really good. Put this at 4 if you can. 4 copies of Cleanup Ninja Kunoichi Sarori. So 6k power, 1k defense, critical of 1, size 1. Put a ninja from your drop zone into its soul and pay 1 gauge. Shadow Dive. This card can attack your opponent even if they have monsters in the center. When you cast a ninja arts, put the top card of your deck into your gauge, gain a life, and destroy a monster or item on the opponent's field. You may only use this ability once per turn. Double attack and soul guard. Really good, because it has Shadow Dive and it can attack twice. And if you catch a ninja arts during either your opponent or your turn, you can get a gauge, a life, and destroy something on your opponent's field. So really good card all around. 4 copies. So next up, 4 copies of Soar Speed Moon Glow Byakuya. So 5k power, 1k defense, critical of 1. Call cost, pay 1 life. Counteract. You may drop a ninja arch from your hand. If you do, stand this card. Shadow Dive. This card can attack your opponent even if they have monsters in the center. And if this card is on the field or in the soul of a ninja monster, all ninjas on your field cannot be destroyed by card effects. Really good, because it prevents your opponent from touching them if it's in the soul or if it's on the field. And he has Shadow Dive, and if you want to pull Azanya from Season 2 of the anime, get a bunch of ninja arts into your hand, discard them all in a row, and just restand Byakuya until your opponent dies from it. Really good card, 4 copies. 4 copies of Apex of Flash Step, Tsukikage. 5k power, 1k defense, critical of 2, size 1. Pay a gauge, Nano Machine Flash Step. When this card enters the field, put up to 1 ninja arts from your drop zone to your hand. Nano Machine Flash Step only activates once per turn. So pretty much you can only call one of these if you want to use the ability per turn, and then you can get any ninja arts from your drop zone to your hand. So this deck doesn't really have a wide range of ninja arts, but it still has a good variety to where if you can get some stuff into the drop zone, you can get it back easily. But still a good card, 4 copies. 4 copies of Tsukikage Blade Master Mode. 5k power, 1k defense, critical of 2, size 1. Pay a gauge to call it when this card gets +1 critical if there's a Tsukikage in its card name in your drop zone. So pretty much, get this into the drop zone, or get Apex the Flash Step into the drop zone, and this thing gets +1 critical for free, so it becomes a 3 crit, which is really powerful. And just being a ninja with 3 crit is really good. So 4 copies. Next up, 2 copies of Agent Ninja Linzo. 3k power, 6k defense, critical of 2, size 2. Pay a gauge to call it. When this card enters the field, search your deck for up to 1 Secret Sword lethal formation and its card name. Put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. That card, it mentions is expendable. This card and Lethal Formation are expendable if you're building the non-budget deck, but this is the budget deck, so these have to be here. So pretty much add a Lethal Formation from your deck to your hand. Next up, Overturn Ghoul Deity Gojinmaru. 4 copies because he's the buddy and already went over his ability. Now onto spells. 1 copy of honestly my favorite spell in this entire deck. Demon Way Kiribushima. So counteract during this turn. The next time you take damage during this turn, it's reduced by 2. So pretty much your opponent attacks you for 4, cast this, the damage is cut in half, so now it becomes 2. Or say your opponent attacks you for 2, it becomes 0 because this is being cast. So really good. I would put it at 4, but I can only get 1, so 1 copy. 1 copy of Demon Way Geppakugiri. You may only cast this card if one of your monsters destroyed. Counter, destroy a monster on the opponent's field. This one is both useful and horrible. It's useful in the sense that you're probably going to have Gojinmaru in your center when you can, so they're going to try to destroy it, and then you can just cast this to destroy something else, and then give it counterattack, which means, if I'm correct on timing, it will just counterattack on something else. So, really good in that sense, but at the same time, there are the off chances where you won't be able to call something to the center, so your opponent will just attack you directly. So, 50-50 chance on it, but I would still say, put it at 4, just in case. 3 copies of 100 Demons Tome of Judgment. So, you may only cast this card if you have 5 life or less, discard your entire hand, draw 3. You may only cast 100 Demons Tome of Judgment once per turn. You could get rid of this for Clear Serenity. Clear Serenity is an objectively better card. Clear Serenity is needed in this deck. I only own 1 Clear Serenity and it's in another deck. So, yeah, Clear Serenity is very much suggested here. Next up, 3 copies of Ninja Art Steel Ball. So, counter choose a ninja in battle, and for this battle, give it 3k power, 3k defense, and counterattack. So, this is only here for the sake of Gojinmaru. No, nothing else really. Or if you're just that close to hitting over something, you need it. That's what it's for. Also because it's in Ninja Arts. 3 copies of Demon Way Norihikigame. Pay a gauge to cast, and you may only cast this card when an opponent's monster attacks a monster in your center. Counter nullify the attack if it is not a link attack, and then if the attack was nullified, destroy a size 2 or less monster that attacked. So pretty much, they attack into with size 2 or less monster by itself, pay a gauge, nullify, and then that monster dies. So, really good card, 3 copies. 4 copies of a card that belongs in every ninja deck, even if it doesn't fit. Art of Body Replacement. You may only cast this card during an attack on the opponent's turn. Counter if it's not a link attack, nullify the attack. Does nothing else, but still just a standard ninja card. 2 copies of Fiendish Blade, Ure Hoikyu, Kia, whatever it's called. 3k power, 2 crit, pay a gauge and a life to equip it, and this card can attack even if there's a monster in the center. So pretty much you can have 4 cards on the field, and you can tackle all 4 of them. So really good card, but its cost is kind of hefty, so 2 copies. 4 copies of the objectively better item, pay a gauge, Deity Dragon Kodachi Gar Tsubaki. Pay a gauge to equip it, 4k power, 2 criticals, 4 copies of it. Counteract, if you're being attacked, you may drop a hand card. If you do for this turn, the next time you take damage is reduced by 3. You may only use this ability once per turn. So say your opponent were to hit you for 4 damage. Discard a hand card that's a ninja. Actually, discard any hand card. I thought it was just a ninja arts, but discard any hand card, and it's reduced by 3. So, really good card, reduces damage, and it has a good critical. It has decent power for an item in ninjas. So, good card all around. So, next up on the list, 1 copy of Secret Sword Moonfang. So, impact card, cast cost pays 3 gauge. When your opponent casts an impact, if this card is in the soul of a Secret Sword lethal formation, you may cast it. You cannot cast it from your hand, unfortunately. Counter, deal 3 damage to your opponent. Nullify the impact cast by your opponent. So, if your opponent were to cast an impact against you, and this card is in the soul of lethal formation, basically pay 3 gauge, nullify it, and then deal 3 damage. So they have 3 life. So normally you want to put them at 3 life or less if you can't kill them, and then you rely on this to kill them if they decide to finish you off with an impact. So 1 copy. 1 copy of Secret Sword Shooting Star. Pay 3 gauge to cast. When you're being attacked by an opponent's weapon, if this card is in the soul of a Secret Sword lethal formation, you may cast it. You cannot cast it from hand like the other one. Counter, deal 3 damage to your opponent and destroy the opponent's item if on the field. So, pretty much, if they attack you with an item, you can pay 3 gauge to destroy that item and deal them 3 damage. 3 damage will activate regardless, but if that item, say, is protected by effects, the attack will still go through, and so you kind of want to keep your life points high enough to where you can survive that. Because if the item can't be destroyed by effects, then all you're doing is 3 damage, and that's going to end up coming to bite you in the ass. So, you really want to push them down to 3 life or less, because otherwise you're going to feel that pain later. And then finally, 1 copy of Secret Sword Lethal Formation, the card that enables those other 2 cards. So, cast set on the field. Cast cost, choose a card from your hand, deck, or drop zone, put into this card's soul face down. If you search your deck, shuffle it. You may look at this card's soul, and you may cast a Secret Sword from your soul by paying its cast cost. So, pretty much, you cast this, and then you pick either Moonfang or a Shooting Star based on what you think your opponent's going to do, whether they're going to use an impact or an item, and then you place it in the soul. And after that, you abuse it by destroying it, and then deal your opponent 3 damage. But you need 3 gauge for it, and otherwise it kind of fails. So that's pretty much the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. And I'll see you all on the next one. Don't forget to raise your flag.